You won't need any of those things, bro. You literally won't even need any of those things. So that's the topic I wanted to talk about today. Feelings, bro. Feelings and thoughts. It's like, it's so hidden. People that are always feeling, for example, stress. You understand it's like the biggest addiction that we have nowadays? Addiction, not to stress, addiction to feelings. So people that are always feeling stressed, they are looking for anything in the day just to feel more stress. Because this feeling of stress gives them like a high. It gives them like it's a familiar emotion. So then they would want more of this familiar emotion. And then when something is happening, like something is happening to this person where on the outside it looks good, still that person would find anything wrong with this good stuff just to feel this emotion of stress. Think about it, right? You see people who are working, and they're always like getting annoyed from their coworkers and stuff, but then they would go home, even if they have like a loving family, they would still find a fault within that loving family, which is so funny because it's like at a certain point it becomes not even the people that are annoying you. It's just you are the type of person that gets annoyed or stressed by yourself. So which means, do you know what that means? It means you've gotten so addicted to this emotion to the point that now this is your God. You do everything just to fulfill this emotion that you have. What's the difference between this and a cocaine addict? We look at a cocaine addict and we're just like, yeah, bro, that person is just gone. Don't do drugs. We're saying don't do drugs, but then we have the same people that say don't do drugs. They're the ones that are doing their own drugs, getting high off their own supply. Like literally, people that are so stressed, like they would find anything just to be stressed. They would say, if a person that always makes you stressful, if you take that person, send them to China, where you won't even see them. What is going to happen is that you'll find another person to reach onto so you can feel stress from them, or you can feel annoyance from them, or you can feel hatred from them. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not the person, bro. It was never the person. It was always you always being addicted to this emotion. So how are you supposed to fix that? I'm telling you, feelings have become your God. Your thoughts have become your God. So much so, by the way, to the point that even in the Quran, it says that, have you seen the person who takes his own desires as a God? It's desires. It's not just like, oh, I want this, so I go and achieve it. Now I'm doing shirk. It's not just all it is, bro. It's such a funny understanding, actually. It's not just desires. It's all your feelings. Have you seen the one that takes his feelings as a God? As a God? And so, the other side, too, is that there's people who are always like getting dopamine from making money, right? So then they would want to go and keep making more and more money to the point that that becomes like their addiction, and then that becomes their God. Even also like the people that watch like those sexual videos online, those people, like when they watch the stuff, they get dopamine hits in their mind, and so they would want to keep pressing the same buttons just to receive that dopamine. And think about it, bro. Like, what are you doing? You're pressing buttons. You're doing action to receive something. Isn't that a dua? You're doing action in expecting to receive something. So it's the same exact thing. Don't be thinking, oh, I'm not doing this and not making dua towards whatever that thing is, therefore I'm not doing shirk. You actually are, bro. Just you doing things is like you expecting a result from it, a thing from it that's going to fulfill something within you. Do you know what I mean? So this is it, bro. And it's so funny because, and it's not about just like stress. It's also about like, what is it? I just realized I forgot to record with the mic. I have the mic on, but I'm not even recording with them. Bro, I'm so funny. Look. It's not even the mic. The mic is not even recording. But anyway, you know what? It's all good. I'm not gonna get like stressed because of this. I'm not looking for stressful events. Like, I don't even care about. You understand the whole fight or flight mode system that we have within us? It was actually there to protect us. So whenever something stressful happens, like back in the day, if you got chased by a lion, your fight or flight mode would be activated. So you would be stressed. But the only reason that would happen is because your body is trying its best to get into a heightened state of awareness to the point that now you can, like if someone touches you like this, you can feel it immediately. Or like your environment, you can look at things that move immediately. This is why the whole stressful experience, it becomes addicting, because it's like literally like a form of getting high. But nowadays, what's happening is that, by the way, this is done to protect you. It's done to protect you. But nowadays, what's happening is that you get stressed from like someone cutting you off on the road, so you would be getting the same exact response. But what's happening is that this response is not ending, it's not finishing. So you would go home and you would keep the same emotion within you. You would keep replaying it over and over again in your mind. Even though on the outside, if someone is looking at you from the outside, there's nothing happening anymore. You're not in the accident still. You're not in whatever, like the person cutting you on the road still, but you're still feeling the same emotion. And then the more you keep doing that, the more you keep replaying it in your mind, the more you get addicted to this emotion, or like the emotion of stress or whatever. So now you go home and you would take this anger on your kids or your wife. But it's because you're basically, they would do something to trigger this same emotion within you, like the high emotion, and then you would get annoyed, and then you would give them like a response of anger and all that stuff. But it's because you've gotten addicted. You've literally gotten addicted to this emotion. Even if you wake up in the morning and there's nothing wrong with you, you would still look for anything that annoys you unconsciously, or subconsciously too, just to feel that same emotion. So I'm saying all of this because the solution is meditation. And I'm sorry, bro, like I know like a lot of Muslims, they're just gonna be like, you don't need meditation, you can just go pray salah and all that stuff. Sure, bro, go pray salah and all that stuff. When you go and you pray salah, from that, like, from the same emotion, right? The stressful emotion. You're going to go and you pray salah, and your mind is just somewhere else. It's just somewhere else. Because you still don't know how to control your mind. So most people that are praying salah, they would finish salah, and they're still angry. Or they're still stressed. Why? Didn't Allah say in the Quran that salah is going to get rid of, like, evil? Literally. Salah tanha an al-fahsha'i wal-munkar. It gets rid of evil. So if you're praying salah, then you're not getting rid of this evil within you, this anger, or this stress, or this depression, or this anxiety, or this jealousy, or this anything, these false gods. They're literally false gods, by the way. So if it's not getting rid of the stuff within you, does that mean you're truly praying salah? Do you think Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he would pray salah, it would not like make him an even better person, even though he was like the best, but it would still make him even better and better and better? That's what salah used to do. So then what's the solution? Again, it's just meditation. So meditation is when you train your mind. You train your mind. So one thing I actually learned recently, not recently, I've learned this long time ago, but I've started doing it more and more recently because I'm like, this is so powerful. Like, this is literally so powerful. It's just sitting down like this, like how I'm sitting down right now, and just watch all the thoughts that go into your mind, because the entire solution is just your observation. That's it. Your observation. You realize when I was talking to you about how when the accident happened, or not the accident, when someone cut you off, for example, and then you got stressed, and then the accident or them cutting you off is done now, you're still driving, but you're replaying the image in your mind over and over again. The fact that you're imagining the same scenario, the same scene in your mind, it shows that your mind has an ability to see things, imagine things, visualize things, which means that the things that happen here are more powerful than the things that happen on the outside. Because think about it. Things are happening here and it's giving you an emotion. It's giving you an emotion. That's why sometimes even guys, like, they would just imagine things and they get an emotion. They get a reaction out of that. Or if you imagine yourself standing at like Burj Khalifa, like obviously you're going to be getting an emotion. You're going to be feeling like, oh dang. Like, you know, the same feeling that you get if you're on a high, tall building. So what I'm trying to say is that the stuff that go in here is more real than the stuff that are on the outside. Which means if you start observing the things that are happening here, you're shining light of awareness onto what's happening here. So then when you start dissociating from the stuff that is happening here, and you're realizing that the stuff that's happening here is just the mind, and it's not actually me, and I am the one that's the one that's aware of them, that is like that's when you don't open the full curtain, but that's when you start peeking through the curtain. So now you'll start like seeing. You ever seen that picture where the kid is like this, and it's just showing like this frame? It's like the shoe is on his face, but then when he does meditation, you see the full frame, and it's like, wait, it was me all along. I was the one that was like holding my face in like this with the shoe. So this is it. The more you sit down with yourself, and then you observe the things that happen within you, the more that you start getting this separation, where this addiction starts stopping a little bit. So the next time you start getting this emotion, now you're like, wait, this is not even me. That's not even me. And then now you're able to like be above the emotion. Bro, there's a lot of people nowadays that are talking about how the whole Bible too, they're like, the whole Bible was like an allegory. It was like symbolism. It was like metaphors to describe something. So when they were saying, when it's like, when Jesus was walking on water, it wasn't just him literally walking on water. It was him being above the emotions. Because when you look at water, water is very synonymous at times with emotions. Because even if you look at studies that are done on water, like water, it has like a memory. So if you say certain things to water, it memorizes those things. So if you say Bismillah and you drink the water, you'll feel good. But then if you say, for example, bad words like I hate you, and then you drink it, you'll feel worse. So some people are saying like all of this stuff is just Jesus being above the emotions. What I'm trying to say is like you being above the emotions. And I'm not saying this is like him walking on water is like him. Forget about all that. Don't be writing that in the comments. But you being above the emotions is something that every human needs to experience. Every human needs to experience. And then if you're not experiencing this beautiful feeling of you being above the emotions, you won't reach your full potential. Literally, bro, you actually won't reach your full potential. So the more you start being aware of the emotions, the more you start being aware of the thoughts and the feelings that are happening within you, that, by the way, they came from the outside too, just so you know. The true you does not have feelings of stress or feelings of depression. The true you is always high. Even depression, it's like you're deep. You're deep in the, like you're deep pressing. Like you're pressing yourself deep down. So that's not the true you. This is like an emotion of hell. It's an emotion that puts you down. Like a hellish emotion. An evil emotion that you shouldn't be feeling. And the people that are feeling that, they are the ones that are disconnected from Allah. Literally, the people that are feeling that, they are the ones that are disconnected from Allah. So that's why I'm like, when I see Muslims who are feeling depressed, I'm like, Habibi, like, you have the solution in your hand. How come you're not using it? And you're not using it because like you're so far deep that it's hard to put you out. But the only way to put you out is through the meditation. Meditation. Seriously. You sit down and you start observing the things. Observation is all that's needed. You shine the light. You shine the light of awareness onto them. Because again, the attention that you have within you, this imagination that you have within you is more real than the outside. So much so to the point that if you start actually seeing images in your mind, if you start producing images in your mind, later on, a day or a week after, you'll see those same exact things. That's what deja vu is. You'll see those same exact scenarios happening in real life. The same exact ones. And so, yeah, bro, that's all that you need to do. Well, at least for now. Just for now. And it's that in order for you to identify those false gods that you have within you, in order for you to identify, or not just to identify, in order for you to go back to La ilaha illallah, you need to be able to destroy all these false gods that you have within you. And it's a whole journey, bro. It's a whole journey. So then think about it. When you're getting an urge to go and watch porn, to go and play video games, to go and watch your favorite Netflix show or whatever, even to go and eat your favorite food. You understand? You understand when you're craving food, it's not even you that's craving it, bro. It's just the bacteria that's within your gut, because your gut is so dirty. That's why you're craving such stuff. Even me, honestly, even me. But whenever you're getting these urges, and then you become aware of them, you just watch them, slowly, that's when the curtain opens up little bit by little bit, slowly. And it's the whole process of like, remembering, forgetting. So you're not even expected to like remember 100% of the whole day. If you just remember 51% of the time, 51% of the time throughout the entire day, you're good. Then you're good. But then once you do it, bro, yeah, like once you do it, I noticed even for me, the more I started doing this, the more it's like, it became easier to spawn thoughts out of nowhere. It became easier to learn how to relax and surrender and then go with the flow of Allah. And I'm like, I've always noticed, I'm like, these past years, I've always been trying to put effort and do things but then nothing would happen. But then as soon as I started doing like this practice, my salah became beautiful, by the way. But also like the action that I would do, it became action that you don't do because of your own thoughts. It became action that you do because now when you're connected with Allah, it's almost like you're connected to this infinite ocean, and this infinite ocean gives you like inspiration within your heart, and this inspiration is like the best thing to do in that moment for whatever goal you want. There's a whole ayah in the Quran where even like the mother of Musa, Allah says like وَأَوْحَيْنَا, which means like we have inspired upon the mother of Musa's heart to take this baby, which is Musa, and then put him in the river. So that's what I'm saying. That's when you'll start getting things, you'll start doing things that are unexplainable. Even you don't even know why you're doing it. But yet, you're still trusting, you're still submitting, you're still going with the flow. And you're excited at the same time. You'll cry. Like obviously you'll still cry in your life. You'll cry, you'll laugh. But at the same time, you'll always be connected to this eye that's watching all these emotions that are within you. That's watching all these thoughts that are within you. And it's like it's constantly cleansing, which is so beautiful, bro. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And we think that this trait is supposed to be only for prophets and messengers and stuff, but like, the mother of Musa was not a prophet, bro. And she would still be in this state. But yeah, your gods and your feelings, or your feelings and your thoughts are actually your God. You've been listening to them all your life. It tells you what to do all these days. And you've always been listening to it, not even realizing that you're doing things that are not even from your own true self. Which is so funny, actually. Yeah, it's so funny. When you start realizing it too, that's when it becomes funny. It becomes funny, you'll start laughing, but then you'll start crying at the same time, like out of happiness. And I think that's what it meant when Allah was like, وَإِنَّهُ هُوَ أَضْحَكَ وَأَبْكَى. Allah is the one that made you laugh and cry. It's like when you realize this, you can't help it but like either laugh or cry, or just do laugh and cry at the same time. Literally, man. But anyway, I'm hoping this video was helpful. Destroy those false gods, man. But let me know how you feel after. This mic was not even recording.